Afternoon, everybody. Good to see you. Some of you I've met before. I look forward to getting to know all of you really well. I look forward to comparing your work with others like you around the United States who are gathering to do the same thing. And I'm sharing that with you as good news because there are what we call rudder teams all over America that find that they have a catalyst kind of project that helps them do what they should have been doing all along. And it brings the family together in a special way. So I'm going to be using language like family, and I'm going to be using language like rudder team because the good news is you embody what this market is going to be viewed as. You know, you go back 20 or 30 years, and what they were looking for is the product, the commodity. Is it cheap? Is it fast? Can I be here? In a situation where you're trying to take leaps like this, the team itself, good news, embodies the market. Your sensibility and your knowledge of what needs to be done that's going to be developed with Dan's help over the coming months. And I've got more good news for you. During those months, 9 months, the economy changes. That means you're going to get questions about what you're doing without even trying. And I think that's good news too. You're going to get to answer difficult questions about this casebook study you're creating so that in the very near future, you're going to go to market and make this valley and this community more competitive. So that's the road that we're going on. And I think, Dan, you shared some of these last time we were together, but I want to go through very quickly about some of the areas that I'm thinking about for roles and expectations. To draft, approve, and advance to all stakeholders a statement of intent. What do we intend to do? For the CPAs and the attorneys in the room, it kind of sounds like Sarbanes-Oxley, but you know, it's a beautiful rule. What are you doing? What do you intend to do as a part of this group? And that will hold all of us together. Every member of this community, the media, state level, everybody, if we can get on the same page with a simple statement of what we intend to do. We want to work in the context of the full project, a project milestone timeline, so that we move from being listeners, advocates, and auditors to being something that embodies the team. And yes, I mean a real project management system for this family for the next 9 months. And hopefully when the 9 months is over, something that you can use to operationalize the strategy you're going to put in place. For the months going forward, how do we know that we're really making progress? To serve as the rudder team for stakeholders and investors and partners of the future. Because you're going to have institutional knowledge that's pretty darn deep in 9 months. So how do we share that with a growing community and across the valley as well? And then to serve as a rudder team in launching a balanced portfolio of strategic objectives. And I think when we're done, it probably would look like an enterprise. This is a company. And there's a balanced scorecard on how we're going to manage those assets to the kind of targets that Dan Hodge and the HDR team is working on. And it's going to help us filter them and make sure that we can actually advance an agenda that allows us to win. And that'll be a good day when that happens. We're going to start winning. Operate as a center of encouragement and collaboration. I can't emphasize how much the E, encouragement word, matters for this family, for the larger community and for the valley. And at the close of the process, be the best equipped leadership team in North America. And you can do it. 9 months, a few stops along the way. If you push, if you build the right project calendar, if you ask the HDR team the right questions, these will just be stops along the way, and we can have confidence in the weeks between the meetings that the work that you want is being done. And that when the inquiries come in, and they'll be soft at first, maybe academic. What are you doing? I hear there's something interesting happening. I hear it's green. I hear there's a catalyst. Even at that point, we'll have the confidence that we're already moving towards a true strategy. That's what you can accomplish in 9 months, but it's going to take some discipline and rigor. And the good news is I think it's pretty darn fun, and I hope you do too. Okay, what will it take to be successful? First of all, the team, this team. And for site location consultants in a market that's trying to make some real leaps, you are Exhibit A. Your knowledge of the product and what you intend to do, and you're saying all the same thing, is Exhibit A of what this community should be. 20 years ago, 30 years ago, it wouldn't have mattered. Give me the balance sheet, give me the property, tell me if it's cheap, tell me if the labor's there, and let's get on with it. You've got the benefit of a new collaborative economy, so let's take advantage of it. The playing field. You will have a better understanding of the playing field than anybody else in America. In a community like this, at the end of 9 months, if you don't feel that way, I don't think we've done our job. So you should have that confidence, and you can stand up in front of America and go, I actually know more about these assets and how we use them to compete than anybody else. And I hope you'll share that expectation with John and Kevin and Felix and Linda, too. Get this thing to advance. Maybe stuck. How do I advance over here? There we go. Intent. You will have a clear statement of intent of what you want to do. Instead of just what I think we can accomplish for specific groups, there'll be a statement that we can share for all the communities, and we'll know about the resources that are required. And that's why even later today, I'm going to ask you some questions about assets and targets, because Dan's starting to think carefully about the diagnostics that he has to perform in the community. So if we have a great team, you're going to represent the character of the market. And I know that might be hard to wrap your head around right now, but I really mean it. That you would represent with that knowledge base what this market intends to do. You will have more knowledge and have more sense of meaning in terms of how we're going to use these assets. The statement of intent will provide alignment and clarity. And I would like to shape that today so that when you are walking down the street later today and somebody says, what are you doing? What is this? We can answer the question. And frankly, I have to too, because I work with site locators. And I need you to prepare me to answer the question, do I care about this? What are they doing? So let's get on the same page with that as well. And then for resources, it's working, thank you. All right. Faithful and dedicated service is what was going to be required. And I'll set the stage for what it looks like in 9 months. Faithful and dedicated service means, think of everything we're going to do together as a commodity. Must do, table stakes, sites, assets. But the faithful and dedicated service is your level of customer service higher given those table stakes? And that's where, Kathleen, you come in. Is it the level of service that we need? Do we have the ability, the resources to make these customers really happy? And I think you can.